my channel. Hi, welcome back. As you can see, I have a new hairstyle today. You might not recognize me today. Okay, just kidding. But yeah, just wanted something different in my life for this video. And I'm very, very happy that you're back with me, that you've been with me throughout the whole time. So thank you very much. And actually, I reached 2K followers on my Instagram yesterday, and I was shocked, literally shocked, because I was like, oh my god, like 2,000 people are following me now and are active on my channel. Sorry, on my account, which was incredible. And I'm even more inspired and motivated to create videos and to create different pieces. So, oh yeah, and also I refilmed this video because yesterday's lighting was so awful. When I watched the video, I was like, I wouldn't watch this myself. So that's why I decided to refilm it. Okay, here we go. So the first thing that I was going to talk about in this video was the story behind my username, which is @loveorrunaway, and it's the same for my YouTube channel as well. So when I was creating my account, I wanted to have a username which would have something from my identity, from my name in it, would reflect my personality in a way, and also wouldn't be like clearly stating my name, which was like sometimes people write that down, like for example Karen Poetry, or I don't know, anything similar. But I honestly didn't want to do that, and that's fine if you've done that. I'm not, you know, judging or anything, but I personally didn't want to do that. I wanted my name to be kind of hidden in the username, but also be in it. So that's why I decided to take my name, which is Laura, and I usually write it with an O instead of a U. So I wrote my name, and I was like, okay, so let's try to think of something interesting with that name. So as I really love the word love, I decided to start with it. So for the L letter, it went like love, and then I was like, okay, so the first word that came to my mind with an O was or, and then run. So I was like, okay, so love or run, and then what's it going to be with the letter A, because I'm out of ideas. And then it came to me that I could just write love or run away. And I've tried many different usernames before. This is just a short story of the whole thing, because I think it wouldn't be that interesting for you to listen to. But I've tried many different usernames, starting with like redhead, and then just soleil, which is sun in French, because in the past, and even now too, sometimes from time to time people call me sun in Armenian or in French or in English. They're like, oh, you're just like the sun and stuff, and they keep calling me. So I was like, oh, what if I take that as my username? And then I thought that something didn't fit. So I came up with Love or Runaway. And to be honest with you, I really liked it, because sometimes when you try to think of, when you take your name letters and try to come up with something, sometimes the meaning is incomplete just because there are not enough letters, or the idea is just incomplete for some reason. In this way, it was like love or run away, and it felt complete, and it really fit my personality, because it reflected how I feel and how I think towards people. So it's I'm usually like that. So if you love me, I'm incredibly thankful for that. Be by my side, share your love, and I'll share more love back to you. But if you don't love me and you're going to be negative towards me, you're going to hate on me, or just, you know, bring negativity to my life, then please just run away. Then don't be by my side if you're not like 100% genuine with me. If you don't love me, if there are parts of you that don't agree with me, that hate me, and they're going to be like, yeah, you're such a great person, and then behind my back they're going to be like, okay, I thought something was up with my eyeliner. And then behind my back you're going to be like, I hate that person and stuff. and those things have happened to me. So or there are even people who can't even decide how they feel about you. So one day they love you and they're crazy about you, the other day they hate you for an unknown reason. I don't know. So I've had those experiences. That's why that's why the examples are really, really vivid. But so yeah, that really reflects the way I feel towards other people. So if you're going to be really positive towards me, because you know, with social media and with all of the things going on right now with the COVID and everything, I really want to have the least possible percentage of negativity in my life, because I know that it impacts me a lot. And even because of the weather, sometimes when it's gloomy, when it's you know, too like gray and stuff, it makes me feel sad. So I'm like, please, no more negativity in my life. That's why it's Love or Run Away. And I don't know whether you relate to that or not, but I'm just asking people to be around me if they are going to love me. That's why my YouTube channel has the same purpose. If you're going to be negative, if you're going to hate on some people or on me in the comments, just please quietly leave the channel. You don't have to be negative. If you want to be negative towards somebody, just please, not on my account, not on my channel, because I want it to be as positive as possible. So that's it for the username story. And I also had a question box in my stories and wanted you to ask me some questions if you're interested in knowing more about me. And I received a couple of questions which I was very, very happy about. So let's start answering those. Most of those are by my incredible friend Miriam, and I love her so much. I'll leave her questions after the other ones because hers are many and the other ones are like just 2 or 3 questions. I'll start with Sadia Noor 16, and I'm sorry if I pronounced your username incorrectly. I'm really, really sorry about that. So she said, how did you start writing and what makes you more passionate about your writing? Love and prayers. First of all, thank you for this question, and I'm sending you love and prayers back. I was thinking of doing a separate video on this in the past, and if you're interested in a longer story, I'll tell you that. But in this video, I'll just be sure not to bore you guys. How did you start writing? In the past, I really, really wanted to be a singer, and I didn't want others to write the songs for me. I wanted to write those myself. So I was like, okay, so if you like singing, if you want to be a singer, you have to start writing your own songs. And I started writing lyrics for non-existent melodies. And then I realized that I wanted to write my own complete songs, and I, to be honest with you, I'm not that good at composing melodies. So long story short, I left that idea aside. And also I would say that my singing skills are kind of amateur. So I'm not like Beyonce or Shakira or Celine Dion or Ariana Grande. So I was like, okay, so your voice is not that good either, so you can just leave that idea aside and just focus on the writing part. And I decided to focus on writing songs without melodies, which technically are poems for me. And that's how I started, writing poems. And then sometimes I felt like the poems weren't enough for me in terms of the space, in terms of the way that you write the poems. I was like, what if I start writing something like longer, which turned out to be one of my short stories. And then I was like, do I have the courage to start writing a book, or do I not have that courage? And I did have that courage. And I started writing my very, very first book. And after that, it went on and on and on. And I fell in love with writing even more on a daily basis. And I realized that I have to include writing in each and every part of my life. So, and in each and every format. So now I'm writing quotes and poetry, and I still write lyrics because one of my friends and we collaborated on some stuff, and she wrote melodies for my lyrics, and we created some songs. So yeah, songs, and then short stories, and yeah, books. I'm still writing one. I have 2.5 books or something. So yeah, and it goes on and on and on, because even now I have a writing YouTube channel. So I hope that it's the whole writing love that I have in me will get bigger and bigger and bigger. Let's see how it goes. I hope I answered your question. In case you'd like me to do a longer video on this, I'm gonna tell you the whole story with some details and with some mini stories in it. But comment if you'd like so. Oh, and what makes you passionate about your writing? Oh God, well, this is hard. Some days I really don't like whatever I write. I'm like, how can anybody read this? This is so bad, this is so cliche, this is not interesting and stuff. But there's one thing that I realized is that I have to motivate myself, I have to inspire myself. You can't wait for somebody to inspire and to motivate you on a daily basis, although that's incredible when there are people like that in your life. But still, you can't wait, and you can't ask for people to do that every day. So you have to find the strength and the energy, and also the willingness to do that on a daily basis. You have to find that motivation in yourself. You'll be like, okay, so what if this poem is not good enough? Okay, fine, then don't post it, don't even read it yourself. But what if you can write something better? You can work on that. And there are pieces that I really love, that are very close to my heart, and I felt those deeply because I wrote those when I was in a very deep emotional state about a certain situation, about certain people. So it's really hard to be passionate about your own writing, but just being generally passionate about writing, I try to push myself more on a daily basis. I'm like, okay, so what can I do to improve my skills? What can I do to love writing more? Because I'm one of those people who really thinks that if you don't love what you're doing, you won't be able to do it, because love is so powerful, that if you love what you're doing, you're gonna be good at that, you're gonna spend more time on it, and you're gonna want to be better at that, if that makes sense. I hope I answered your question. And then we have one of my other friends wrote, the username is extraordinary_K-drama, and she says, you should post some vlogs IG. I don't know if I'm going to do that. To be honest with you, I want to kind of separate those two platforms and have the vlogs on YouTube, and then from time to time I'm posting some stories for you not to lose the connection with me, because sometimes I don't want the blog on Instagram to feel really artificial and humanless. So from time to time I'm posting different stories. I'm like, hey guys, I'm sending you positivity and love and everything, but I don't think I'll post these vlogs on Instagram. Not at the moment, I guess, but I'll keep filming those. Okay, the other questions are from my friend Miriam, and her username is at Miriamo77, and she writes as well, so check her account out too. And I have a video on my YouTube channel where I have an interview with her, so check that out too. Okay, so how to be consistent while growing a YouTube channel, because it takes time. Oh my god, it does. How to be consistent, I feel like the most important thing to remember is that you have to try to do that for yourself. You have to try to not think about the count of the views and the likes. I'm giving you this piece of advice, but I wouldn't say that I follow this piece of advice every day. I'm guilty of that. But still, you have to work on yourself, and that's what I'm trying to do at the moment, where you're not discouraged by the count of the views, because I tried to bring back myself to the idea of like, okay, why did you start this channel? Because of the numbers? No. You started the YouTube channel because you wanted to do so, because you wanted to have your like talk show like thing about writing, because you wanted to express yourself. Okay, so keep doing that. What's stopping you from doing that? I try to bring myself back to it, and then also another thing is I try to think of new ideas whenever I feel like I'm bored and I don't want to do this anymore. I'm like, okay, it means that you need new ideas that you can be passionate about. And then I'm like, okay, what can I do to make it more interesting? What I would personally be interested to watch on a YouTube channel connected to writing. And then I start thinking of new interesting ideas, which I have at the moment. I haven't filmed those yet, but I have interesting ideas, and I hope I can turn those into beautiful, amazing, interesting videos. Let's see how it goes. So yeah, find something that you're really, really passionate about, and constantly find those new ideas that will help you be motivated and inspired to do stuff. And also, please don't look at the count, because in reality, it doesn't really matter. Although it's hard to understand, and sometimes it's really, really hard for me too, but still, let's try. Okay, how is it to live with war? I can't imagine this, and it makes me so sad. So, in case you guys don't know, my country's at war. It's been at war a couple of months ago, and it's kind of still at war at the moment as well. As I wanted this to be a happy video, not a sad one, I won't talk about this for a very long time, but it's really, really, really hard. And I'm not saying this just because, you know, it's a common thing to say that it's hard when you're at war, but no. You said that you can't imagine this and it makes you sad. I hope you never get to imagine how it feels to live in a country which is at war, because it's terrible. It's terrible, and it's terrifying, and it's really, really sad. It's really tough, to be honest, because when it was really, really at war, like the situation was worse than at the moment, my emotional state was terrible, because I felt so many things at the moment. I felt really, really emotional reading those stories about young soldiers who had so many dreams, who had to come back to get married and form a family, and who had so many plans for the future, and then they passed away. Some of those were my friends, some of those were my acquaintances, my classmates, and it was tough. And then you wake up every morning hoping that the war would be gone and this would have been just a dream, or, you know, just something that happened for a second and is gone right now, but it's not. And then I kept feeling really sad the whole day, and no matter what I felt, no matter what I did, I felt really, really guilty for doing that. I felt guilty for eating. I felt guilty for doing the daily tasks that I had to, because I was like, those people are fighting for at the border for me to live, and I'm just, you know, eating like nothing's happening, and I'm going out for a walk because I felt so all over the place emotionally and physically. And so I felt guilty and sad and hopeless, because I was like, okay, I'm sorry for thinking in the past that I had some problems in life, because when the real problem comes, you're like, I'm sorry, can we get back to the days where the only problem was like what to eat today, or where to go, or I'm not really motivated to work today, to study, or anything like that, because you understand that that was the real problem. What we're going through, the war, is the real problem, because and also I couldn't go on social media because when I went to Facebook, it was terrible. Everybody was posting the letters that those soldiers left before dying, either love letters to their loved ones, telling them not to wait for them, or the last calls to their parents saying, you know what, I think I won't be back, but just please be healthy and everything. I think the situation is bad and we can't come back, and please be understanding and please be okay with that and be understanding. Just, yeah, many things were happening, and it was too much emotionally, really. And I hope you never get to understand how it feels. I don't want to go too much into detail anymore because I don't want to make you sad with this video, but it's really tough, and I wouldn't want anybody on this planet to feel what it is to be in a country which is at war. And sadly enough, there are so many people who feel that way. Okay, how is it to live in Armenia? What you like about the people? Okay. It's very interesting. I love this question. I'll to be very honest with you, at the moment I'm very okay, I'm gonna share the opinions of my professors, of tourists who are coming to Armenia, because I think that's a more interesting perspective of our country. So the tourists and the professors that I had, my professors are American, and they live here at the moment. So it's really funny because they love Armenia because the people here are very hospitable. That's one of the stereotypes, that is that people are very hospitable, they're friendly, and I agree with that. I totally agree with that. Whenever, and something which is very interesting about Armenians is that when you go somewhere and when you meet an Armenian and you're like, oh yeah, nice to meet you, we just met, after a few hours you always realize that in one way or another you guys are connected, and you have so many like people which like you are familiar with. For example, if you go to meet somebody named Sam, let's say, don't know where that name came from. Okay, so there's this person Sam, you're like, oh hi Sam, nice to meet you, this is the first time that I'm meeting you. And then after a few hours you realize that you know Sam's cousin, and he is the best friend of your best friend. And then I don't know, your grandparents were friends with his grandparents, and it's really funny because I think this Armenians who are watching this vlog will realize that it's totally the truth. They are going to relate to that a lot. That's the funny thing. And also one thing that you should know about Armenians is that they are always late. They are always late. For example, there was this time where it was my birthday, and I told my guests to come at 6, and then I was the only one in a cafe, me and my sister, because my sister came with me. And yeah, nobody was on time, and I was sitting like this on my birthday waiting for the guests to come, because I was like, damn it, I should have told them that they that the birthday is at like 5 or anything. So yeah, that's it. That's that. Also, how do you come up with the idea to, oh, okay, so let me just answer the questions on Armenia and then move on to the next one. Your favorite place in Armenia and why? I have a few favorite places in Armenia, and usually when I have favorite places in any country, it is always the place where I have created memories with my friends or my family members, and those are usually the ones, because I really value memories and they stick in my mind for a very long time, so that's why. Okay, so my favorite place, I have a few. Let me start with the first one. So there's this, okay, I'll start with my university, because that's one of my favorite places in Armenia, in Yerevan, the capital. My university is American University in Armenia, that's how it's called, and it's my favorite place because it's been my home for like 4 years. I've been there more than I was at home. So we've created so many good memories together with my friends, and now when I go back and watch those videos, I'm like, I want to go back to that university once again. And that's why that's my favorite place. I really, really love it, and it is really close to my heart, and I would go back to those university years because I loved the professors, I loved the atmosphere, I loved how I was taking breaks with my friends, how we were going to take some coffee and then go back to class. And I have really, really good memories connected to my university. That's why it's one of my favorite places in Yerevan. Another favorite place is the Lovers Park. I really love going there because you can enjoy the nature, you can sit down on a bench and write some stuff. Recently I wrote a poem there. No, not one, but two. And also in summer, there are some mini waterfalls that are turned on. And I really, really love that. I am in love with water, any type of it. Like, for example, waterfalls, ocean, the sea, a lake. I'm in love with that because it soothes me, it's really calming, and it helps me relax a lot. So I go there and I'm looking at the waterfalls and I'm trying to relax. And for that same reason, I even like the Lake Sevan that we have in Armenia. And I also have memories connected to my family members there. We went there a lot in the past, and we're going to enjoy some fish there and look at the waves, take pictures of the birds that are flying, and the whole atmosphere is really, really, really relaxing. So I love that place a lot. And also, for the same reason again, there's the Republic Square that I love a lot, and there are the dancing, singing fountains there, and I love that. I love music, I love dancing, and I love fountains. So it's a combination of all of those three things, and it's really interesting to see how the fountains are moving to the melodies, and they're like kind of dancing. There is a similar thing in Dubai as well, and I love that too. I can watch that for like hours and not get bored. Let me know in the comments below if you like those dancing and singing fountains, or if you're not that fond of it. So yeah, I love the Republic Square for that too. And also, there's this place called the Cascade. It has different statues, modern like statues there, and also there are many stairs that you can go up and then sit with your closest people and drink some tea, have some snacks together, and watch the city in the evening when the lights are on, and just enjoy the atmosphere where you can be alone with the people that you want, but not too lonely because there are other people on the stairs as well, and that's pretty cool. Okay, so the last question is, how do you come up with the idea to create a video channel? To be honest, I really love to talk. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to conclude that, right? So my video is almost 30-minute long, and yeah. So yeah, I really, really like to talk, and I felt like sometimes I couldn't express myself completely on my Instagram account because I want to talk about it, I want to discuss an issue, I want to have interviews with people, and I feel like those actions should be separated. So there I should have my poetry and stuff, and then I felt like I wanted to create some videos where I talk about writing, where I share some tips, where I have some interviews with other people. And in the past, I've been always fond of the idea of having a YouTube channel, but I didn't have the courage to do it, and also I didn't think that people would watch me. So I thought that if I created that kind of videos, I would be the only view on my YouTube channel, and I was like spending so much time and putting so much energy and thought and emotion in it, and then not getting any type of feedback or reaction back would be really sad. So yeah, I thought it wouldn't work out, but then there was one day where I was like, no, I really, really want to do it. And the motivation to do it was more than the fear. That was the day where I was like, yeah. And also I had, in the past, I was also in a blog. I was like, okay, so if you want to have a channel on writing, what are you going to talk about? What are going to be some ideas, like content-wise? I was in a blog, and then I decided to come up with a content. And then when I had some like 5 to 6 ideas, I was like, okay, so now you do have some ideas. Now you can have the courage to open a YouTube channel. And I did it. And I'm so glad that I did, because it helps me get more and more creative with time, and at the same time I'm getting feedback from you guys, and it makes me really happy. So I'm sorry, I won't talk anymore because I feel like the video is gonna last forever. If you have more questions, comment down below. And thank you for watching this video. If you're not bored at the moment, it means that I really reached something in my life without even understanding. Thank you. Thank you so much for being with me. Be happy, be positive. Let me know in case you have some worries. You can always talk to me, DM me on Instagram. And thank you for being with me, and thank you for asking these questions. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Mwah!